All right, we are live. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and all the love and support you guys have been giving me recently. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Let me know if you can hear me okay in the chat. Let me make sure my settings are good. Let's see, that looks good. Perfect. All right, we already got 500 people in here. Awesome. Please hit that like button. We got a lot to go over. I got some people to shout out. I've got, of course, lots of new information. As a lot of you probably know, we've been kind of going over diagrams of how that night likely had happened. But I've received some more information from the same source. Actually, I've got multiple sources, boots on the ground. We'll be giving some shout outs to them. So I got a lot to go over. But if you're new to the channel, welcome. I am Chris with Monsters Under Our Bed. We cover true crime, mystery to the missing. Not only do we cover true crime, but we do actually go out and search. Here's a case we've been working on. This is Aiden Clune. He went missing 2 years ago in Wells, Nevada. We've been out there searching for him. And this year in June, there has been nothing found of Aidan. But after 2 years, we were searching hard this year. And we finally found the first physical evidence ever. And that was his pair of shoes. It was huge because his mom wasn't really sure if he had possibly made it out because he pulled his truck over the side of the freeway and wandered off into a mountain range and was never seen or heard from again. And then there was kind of like possible sightings, but unfortunately none of those sightings panned out. And so just like in the Sebastian's case, I went back to the beginning, and it's not just me, there's others involved that helped me. Obviously this was a team effort, and we went back and we started. And long story short, we just went back to the beginning, looked at clues that we had, and we found his shoes. But unfortunately, we still need to go out there and find, if he's out there, find him. But it's a big, big area. But there's a playlist if you're interested. There's the officers taking the evidence. It was a huge thing for us. Of course, we would like to bring home Aidan for his mother. But again, if you'd like to support this channel, that goes towards what we do. All right, let's get going. One more thing. If you have somebody like a friend or a family member, somebody you know that went missing recently or been missing for years, and you would like them to be featured, you can email me. Just give me the name and photo, and I'd be happy to feature them at the beginning of his show. That's kind of what we do on here. We kind of talk about the big stories, but then obviously show photos of missing people at the beginning. That way, the little, the stories that unfortunately don't make it to the mass media, we can kind of bring attention and awareness to that. All right, let's get going, guys. A lot of members. I'll shout you out as we go. I know probably 99% of you guys are familiar with this case. Oh, sorry. Right, that's weird. There's the pause button. I'm just going to play a 2-minute recap. I don't even know if it's 2 minutes, just to, for anybody that's not familiar with this case, and then we'll get into all the new information. There's a lot that we got to go over, but let's quickly play just a little recap on how he went missing. This is Sebastian Rogers. He went missing this year, February 25th, 26. It was a Sunday night. They had dinner, and anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and play the clip so I can start shouting some people out here.
1008 Traffic Court, caller guys this morning, and what's happening, 15-year-old male was talking to guys. We are right now, 3 blonde hair, working my guys, but we're going to turn down. I was going to be wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants. You know, those have a kind of autism. It's the first time it happened. I was going to be in the home before midnight. All the doors are locked at this time.
Sebastian Rogers is a 15-year-old autistic teenager who lives in Hendersonville, Tennessee. He was last seen Sunday night on February 25th by his mother, Katie Proudfoot. The next morning, on the 26th, his mother went to wake Rogers up and get him ready for school, but Rogers was nowhere to be seen. Sebastian Rogers was allegedly wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants, his glasses, and his keychain flashlight. They also claimed that all of his shoes were accounted for, which means he is most likely barefoot. His case has garnered a lot of media attention, which has helped get his tragic story out to the masses. There has been numerous searches for Sebastian Rogers, including a landfill search in the beginning, to groundwater and air searches.
To censor myself, holy freaking crap, this can't be happening, where is my kid? Choice words were used. Like, where the F is he, I had looked through the house for him, because it was typical for him to get up and come and rummage for snacks and things like that, and he likes to dip behind the, walls and watch, and then he comes out after I come back and he likes to scare me. But, after I looked, and I mean, mind you, all of this took place in like 1 minute flat, but I didn't see him in his room. I looked all over. I ran through the whole house. I looked out all the doors and windows, and I was like hollering his name, and I picked up the phone and I called my husband, and I said, I can't find him. And he said, what do you mean? I said, he's not in this effing house. I can't find our son. And I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood, and I drove over by the school, and he's already, like, at this point I was like hysterical, and I was crying and I was screaming. And he was like, three-wayed. He three-wayed law enforcement, and was telling them, like, our son is missing and we don't know what's going on. And he was like, go back to the house, they're on their way. And I drove back to the house, and
Okay, so again, I'm sure most of you guys know the story. She was up late at night, supposedly talking with Chris Proudfoot on the phone, and then eventually fell asleep. And then at one point, around 10, I don't know, the time frame changes depending on the interview, but at some point, supposedly Sebastian made a noise or a thud. She said something back to him, hey, you better get back to bed. And then after that, she wakes up the next day to get him ready for school, and he's gone. And then we get these surveillance footage that was leaked out. It shows what appears to be lights, flashlights. We're going to talk about those sources as well. Are they flashlights? Are they cell phone lights? Where were they taken from? Where's the surveillance footage, pointed at? Because there was kind of a debate on that. And so we're going to kind of go over the history of that. And then, like I said, I've got tons of stuff to go over. So I'm just going to quickly shout out Linda, Henry Dog, Gloria, Jenna, Nicely Nosy, Sandra. Thank you all so much for being members and supporting this channel. And we got Tom coming in with the $5 super chat. Hello, Mob Crew, Mods and Chris, hope you're all having a great week. Thanks for covering this case. I hope they find this kid alive and well. Amen. Couldn't agree more. And I really hope that it will be the case. Mods, let me know how the chat speed is. If I need to slow it down, please let me know. All right, let's get going. So as most of you know, I went back to the lights, right? Because with a case like this, I like to work with the evidence that we have. That's kind of what we do on this channel. Of course, we still speculate. But, of course, the lights, always bugged me. And it didn't make sense with the whole it being garbage truck lights and stuff like that. So, originally when this came out, of course, this was leaked by Nick Barris. And, of course, I have videos explaining why it's kind of shaky, because what happened is the person had recorded it. It's a copy of a copy of a copy, if that makes sense. So, that's why the quality is not the best, because it's lost a couple of generations. And then somebody just took their cell phone and recorded it, and so they zoomed in, and then they're recording it, so it's kind of bouncing around. So that, obviously when you're trying to overlay like I do, it makes it really hard. But originally, this is where a lot of people, even some of the locals, had thought the lights were coming from. Again, if you're new to the channel, I've been speaking with people that are local to this area, and anyway, they originally thought that the floodlights were actually coming across the street, and that the lights were actually coming from the yard across from the Proudfoots into the Proudfoots and kind of past, right? If that makes sense. And so that's what they thought was going on with the surveillance footage. And there was a YouTuber, well, I'm not going to mention because I'm not a big fan of, but this was actually his overlay, him trying to show where the lights were at, and he was trying to say that this was a garbage truck going across the street that's way above this. And when I went back and looked at the surveillance footage and overlaid it, I'm like, man, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't line up right, And so again, this is what they thought. So they thought the lights were kind of coming across the street. So anyway, let's move forward here. But that is not the case.
At the top, which have been assumed.
So here is my video. I know a lot of you have seen it. So this is just kind of a short version, just kind of explaining how I figured out where the lights are exactly at. And like I said, I just did some basic measurements, math science, whatever you want to call it. And it really all involves where everything is. You just base off what's in the footage itself. And obviously we have this truck here in the hood, and we know the lights can't be any much higher than the hood of this truck
to be floodlights. And using this line, we can determine that those lights cannot be any higher than the hood of that truck. Using this method, we can determine exactly where those lights are coming from. So looking at where that truck was parked that night, seen in this overview, photo here taken the day of, we can then use a Google Street image and line up approximately where that truck was parked. Notice we add the red line and look at where it takes us. There is a house exactly across the street. This house is next to the Rogers.
So if you're just coming in, I've got some new footage. I put out a video yesterday. If you guys saw that, I kind of explained what I was told and how the vehicle behaved and the people. But today, I got new information. It's from the same person, but they also talked to some others. And so this is a collab of a lot of the locals out here. And it kind of changes the story up just a little bit with the car itself. Still, the lights and everything about the same. But yes, this is going to shake things up a bit. And I've got some very interesting footage that I have to shout out to Stephen McCrabtree. He's a local out there. He did some amazing work for me. We're going to be kind of collabing here. But anyway, let me finish this video.
Residence. This home has its garage facing towards the camera. It also has 3 garage doors on it.
I love cats. Thank you so much.
Guess what? That's right. It has floodlights above each garage door. So here, I am taking a street Google view of the direction of the camera, and then adding the security footage overlaid into the Google image. And notice how the floodlights do line up with the image. But because the footage itself was filmed with a phone, it is a...
And so the other thing that's really hard is, so see how subject 1 looks like he's kind of like behind this tree? So again, I'm taking a Google image that, obviously you've probably seen the Google guy with this vehicle. He's got the camera on top of his car. So the camera view is kind of tall. And of course the security footage is lower. So what happens is when you're overlaying, the subjects are going to appear lower than they really are. That's where it kind of gets a problem. But I have somebody that's sending me some footage at a lower angle, which is going to help really put where everybody was at, these subjects. And it's going to just
bit shaky.
Help so much.
And doesn't always line up. But this does give you an example of where everything is taking place. The lights labeled as subject 1 and 2 are moving across the 2 yards. So the big question is, are they flashlights or something else? And where are they coming from exactly, and where are they going to? What I'm about to show you next will shock you to your core, because the angle of the camera is not quite level with the street. I realized that in order to match up the footage and image correctly, it needed to be tilted a bit to match the angle of the camera footage, and by doing this, literally put all the pieces to the puzzle together. And what you're about to see, in my opinion, is exactly what happened that night, and pay close attention to where those lights are coming from. I also fixed the footage the best I can to keep the floodlights lined up with the garage. Notice we can see subject 1 just behind the house to the right. Then we see subject 2 literally.
And so new information confirmed. These subjects do go behind this house. They do not go in front of it. That's why, as you can see, that subject, how I have it lined up, you'll notice subject, when he moves to the right, or they, whatever, they disappear. That's because they are going behind that house. And the two reasons why you don't see subject 2, not only you got the gazebo, but you actually have this ditch. And I'm going to show you some footage never seen before, drone footage, thanks to Stephen McCrabtree, who gave me some amazing footage. So please, if you're a TikToker, go over and follow him. Link is in the chat and in the description.
Really come out from behind the house to the left. This subject literally came from the yard shared by the Proudfoot's home. As subject 2 heads towards subject 1, we noticed that the light disappears right behind the gazebo between the two homes. As we continue to watch, notice that it seems like subject 1 is waiting for subject 2 to get closer, as if guiding this person to a car waiting nearby. Noticed as we wait for subject 2 to reappear, we see that subject 1 now moves behind the home to the right, and we cannot see them anymore. Then we see subject 2 reappear to the right of the gazebo. Noticed as subject 2 moves to the right, there are trees, and the light shimmers as it moves closer to the home on the right.
Okay, is it Michelle? Michelle has a great question. So if you saw my video yesterday, remember, we got other videos that came out, and remember the person, the family has this surveillance footage. And this is, oh man, there's so much to go over. I'm going to have to do a members and Patreon video after this because I've got so much and I just can't tell it in one live. I'm not kidding. But if you saw my video yesterday, I thought the order was the video where it shows the person returning back. I thought maybe that was first because obviously we don't know. And so I thought maybe that would have been the first video, but no, that is the last video. So I did get that wrong. Obviously, how am I going to know? Because, there's no timestamp on it. So for those that are wondering the order, we will go over that. And that's a huge piece of the puzzle as well.
I believe this is not a coincidence that Rogers goes missing the same night that around 3 a.m. Lights are coming from the direction of Rogers' home and the neighbor mentioning an unidentified vehicle parked on the street nearby. Here is me zooming in on where subject 2 is coming out from, and noticed it clearly pops out just behind the home.
And I cannot wait to get the footage where it's a little bit lower and line everything up even better. I am going to really fix all the bounciness. I mean, I've kind of fixed it a little bit, but I am going to, believe me, this has taken hours and hours to put together. But I'm going to do more to really show that light just pops out right behind that house. I mean, that's no coincidence. And then same thing with subject 1, where when it goes to the right, it disappears because this is the proper overlay.
To the left, the same yard that's shared by the Proudfoot's home. In my opinion, I believe this footage shows the potential abduction.
Thank you so much. So again, I know I'm repeating a little bit of stuff, but I'm going to show you a lot of new stuff, and I'm going to tell you the new story. I'm just kind of letting everybody get in here. Again, mods, let me know if the chat gets too fast. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep track of everything. But to me, this was so wild. If you've seen my videos, you know what I'm going to mention here. But I have to play this because what he says lines exactly up with what goes on with the video. So let me just play this part real quick.
To the right, they go all the way down the side of the house along the fence.
So they went to the back side, or the that.
And I'm sorry, this is Chris Proudfoot talking about the scent dogs. Remember, the two big incidences that law enforcement and the family, act weird about is the dog scent. Yeah, they got a hit. No, they didn't get a hit. They have a press conference, says, yes, it's a false positive, whatever the hell that means. And then same with the lights, we played the interview. He says lights have nothing to do with it. And then he gets pressed on it. It says, well, maybe down the future the lights might have, some significance. So just really weird. But anyway, this is about the scent dogs and the direction they went.
Right. If you're looking at my house,
Okay.
it's going to be the right-hand side. The dog goes all the way down the fence. The dog comes all the way back up into the yard, and then it cuts diagonally to the house next door to us through their backyard.
Diagonally.
And that is the direction which the dogs take off. Now after that,
This is a combination of the path the lights were going, and according to what Chris Proudfoot claims, the direction of where the scent dogs went. In my opinion, it's clear that they are taking the same exact path, according to my overlay, Chris Proudfoot,
It's crazy.
and what the neighbors have mentioned. They all line up. Is this just some crazy coincidence? I believe not.
and then it cuts diagonally to the house next door to us through their backyard. And then it cuts diagonally to the house next door to us through their backyard.
That is the dogs, in my opinion. That is the dogs following his scent. And that is the same direction those lights go. That is no coincidence.
As I mentioned earlier, I spoke to a local who knows.
And here's me where I was able to really put all the lights together. See this static light here? This light is actually the light, in my opinion, to the garage right here. So we have the floodlights on this house, and we have this static light here. So this car is somewhere around in here. And we'll talk about the car. Of course, I mentioned they believe it's a sedan. And I'll talk more about that here in a minute. We got tons to go over. But let me play that.
Knows the neighborhood and some of the neighbors very well. While I share the new information told to me, I will be showing a recreation of the events that allegedly happened that night. Now we know more. Footage has been released, but in my opinion, the order in which the videos have been released may not reflect the correct order of events.
So yeah, I put this video out yesterday because I thought maybe, the light that was going towards the house, I thought maybe that happened first because, again, we don't have timestamps. But I was wrong. I was actually wrong, and I'll explain how I was wrong. And the vehicle, we learned much more about the vehicle as well. Not about the model and make, but what it did that night. Completely different. And this is a collab of a lot of the locals. Because they're, I don't want to speak for them, but let's just say I made an impression when I did my overlay, and it got out to the locals, and now they really want to help me, because they want this thing solved and over with. So anyway, this is what I thought originally. Of course, when it comes to the lights and the people, it seems like there was at least two subjects possibly involved, maybe a third with the driver. So maybe 3 people involved. But this was what I put out yesterday. But I am going to show you what actually happened, or what I've been told today.
So this, in my opinion, might be the correct order of events. So I believe the lights we see going towards the home happened first. So we are actually seeing the alleged suspects going to abduct Rogers.
So I was wrong on that.
Then the second order of events is the first video to be released, showing lights traveling from near the Rogers home towards the house on the right.
Thank you, Melissa.
So some of the new information shared to me included that the unidentified vehicle in question was actually parked near the stop sign and on the left side closest to the house with the security footage, meaning they were on the wrong side of the road. They also mentioned that this vehicle waiting near the stop sign while the lights moved between the homes. Then at some point, the vehicle then turned onto Stafford Road. And if I understood this person correctly, actually was parked in the middle of the road, again blocking any traffic that may come by.
I'm still learning a little bit more. I've got to talk to the person, people actually. But yeah, again, the car, we're going to flip things up a little bit and drop some bombshells here in just a minute.
Then the vehicle would turn on its lights, almost like it was a signal
Ginger
to the
girl,
parties
thank you so
involved.
much. Gypsy Nilsson, thank you for your work.
Then
you
the
put
car
into this.
backed
Thank
up
you
towards
so
Kellen
much.
Avenue, after which it would leave via heading towards the exit of the neighborhood. One thing I could also share that may shock some people is that apparently they believe this vehicle looked like a dark sedan of some sort. Again, this is only what they believe they had, saw, and could have been mistaken. But if true, this could be a giant clue into figuring.
Now, I've been getting a ton of emails, and I've been trying to get back to everybody. Oh my God, the other day I forgot about my spam folder, and I checked that, and I probably had 50 emails just alone in that, just from recently. So if I haven't gotten back to you, I apologize. It's just me. I could use a secretary right now. But I do try to give back to as many people as I can, but I am very busy. But I do appreciate the tips, and I will try to get back to as many people as I can.
Out who was behind this alleged abduction. Again, this lines up with what I was told, and it seems this vehicle and the persons involved were aware of the cameras in the neighborhood, and this is why we are seeing this type of suspicious behavior happening the same night that Rogers disappeared.
Okay, so now we're going to be showing you some new stuff and talk about, all right, let me pause it here because we're going to show you some new stuff you haven't seen before. Rosebud, thank you so much for becoming a member. You are so awesome. Tom coming in. Holy cow, 1,600 in chat. I know, I'm going to need some more mods. Hit that thumbs up, everyone. It's the cheapest way to support the channel. Thanks for coming in this, Chris. Tom coming in with 5 gifted Mob Crew memberships. Thank you so much, Tom. Huge supporter of the channel. Thank you so much, Tom. Tracy Allen, Chris, did you compare KP's work truck? Yes, actually, I did, Tracy, and I do have it in this. In my opinion, if they were... Now, I'm not saying... in my opinion, right now, everybody's a suspect. To me, if I took on the case... Right now, we go back to day 0, day 1, whatever, and everybody's a suspect, and we're looking at everything, That way, that's basically when a case gets to this point and there's nothing going on, That's why I went to the lights, and here I just put some overlay together thinking it wasn't going to be a big deal, and now it really switched everything up because... Again, like I said, a lot of the locals and a lot of people thought that the lights were over here and that they were coming across the street into this yard. And so this flips everything on its head now, knowing that, no, they came right between the yard and Roger's home and then crossed over this ditch, which I'm going to show you this ditch here in just a second, thanks to Stephen McCrabtree. Huge shout out to him. And then they go behind this house. And everything with the lights, when you line it up just right, it all matches. So what we're going to be doing to see if we can figure out maybe some dimensions of this vehicle, I thought maybe we could... So this slope curb right here, right? When you make any kind of cement slope like this, you put cuts in it, right? And the reason you do that when you're pouring new cement is because the cement will eventually start to crack. So they put these cuts in them so it kind of relieves the pressure of the cement. So if you ever wondered that, a little detail for you guys. And usually they do them the same length. That way, it looks orderly. And usually it's anywhere from 12 to 18 feet. Stephen told me he believes it's 12 feet from cut to cut. So that's very interesting, because if we can get some dimensions behind the vehicle of, whatever we can, and dimensions of something that's in front of that vehicle, maybe we can put something together that kind of gives us an idea of how the dimensions of the suspect's vehicle. If that makes sense. And that's probably a lot. And yeah. So here's just explaining, curbs and stuff. So, 12 to 18 feet apart, they put these cuts in. But this is what I'm talking about, right? So we have the light and the tail light, right? So we can't really see the car, unfortunately, because it's a dark car. So we know that this vehicle that was used has got to be a dark car. Got to be like silver, dark gray, black. Certainly it's not white, yellow, green. Maybe a dark green, I don't know. But, it's got to be a darker color car. I doubt, especially if it's, say the Proudfoots are an inside job, I doubt they would be using their vehicles, A lot of people email me the Infinity, although, who knows? But then if we got the dimensions of this truck, which I did, so again, I got these before the show, so I have to do all this after the show. But if we get dimensions of something in front of the vehicle and behind the vehicle, and I think we can, try to get some kind of sum between the middle here, if that makes sense, to measure what this vehicle is, if that kind of makes sense. But anyway, that's something we're working on down the road, or not down the road, but that's actually what we're working on right now. 4x4 Explorers becoming a member. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Again, this is what I sent him to help me, try to figure out, get a bunch of measurements. And if anybody's good with measurements and want to email me, and I could give you like the dimensions and stuff, and that would be awesome. So here is some footage straight from Stephen McCrabtree. So huge shout out to him. This is where the surveillance footage is at. This is the house with the floodlights. This house at the bottom here is the Rogers home, Proudfoot's home. And as you can see where the trees are going, this is the ditch. The ditch is very important. We'll talk about that. But those people went across this way. Right? And we're going to talk about the vehicle as well. Lady Red, I hope I didn't miss you. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Chili Bean, good to see you. Hats off to you, Chris. The channel is growing. Thank you so much. Mary, I've been talking with you. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Love Jazz. I'm a Utah Jazz fan. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Whew, it's a lot. Thank you guys so much. And please, if you can, hit that like button. Let's get up to 2,000 here. My poor mods. Hopefully everybody's here. May have to pick up some more mods. So anyway, there's a nice drone view. God, that's such a beautiful neighborhood. But I'm going to be sharing some information with you. It's going to really get kind of on the conspiracy side of things. Well, I wouldn't say conspiracy, but some really weird, funky stuff happening as well. But here again, we have the Rogers home right here. The way they would have went, of course, I just got this footage literally like 30 minutes before I went live. So I wish I could have done like a overview of how everything was going on, like a top view. But with this footage, because it would just add more to the atmosphere of how everything was happening that night. But look at that ditch. I mean, that ditch is actually pretty big. It's much bigger than I originally thought. It gets deeper as it goes on. So here's a picture They believe the car was parked about around the bushes, from what I understand. I think a little bit more forward. I had to put the car back further because there's somebody parked there, and I didn't want to show their vehicle because, you know, they've been so nice to me. But I think they believe the car was a little bit more like right here, the sedan. So notice if we had like a car, maybe even parked by this cut, maybe we could get do some dimensions with that measurements. But anyway, continuing on. So much we could do. Sorry, I'm just looking at chat here. Here's another shot. So yeah, see that ditch there? Notice how it's just kind of normal, but that ditch gets deep. And we're going to listen to Steven. He made a TikTok video today. If you want to go check it out after this live, go check it out. Link is in the description, and maybe my mods could pop it in the chat. But this is his drone footage. Now keep in mind, he is local to this area. Okay, he works for Verizon. I believe he may have been working. He does measurements for Verizon. I'm not sure exactly how everything works, but again, you know, he's not really impeding. He's, again, a local, and he was working, from what I understand. I could be wrong. I think I had his... Oh, I meant to put his video here. I do have his video coming up, but I just wanted to address this real quick, because we want to look at everything under a different light at all angles, right? And I do appreciate this ruckus video. A lot of people sent me this. I know I think we went over it in the last live, but I just want to address this just quickly. This ruckus video, what they're doing is they're zooming in on the floodlights, right? And they think they can see some heads and stuff. And again, I appreciate, thinking outside the box and trying to zoom in on stuff. But even though, yes, it does look like people interacting with each other. But in my opinion, this is a case of pareidolia. I do not believe there was anything. So if you don't know what pareidolia is, that is where your mind tries to make images, like looking at the clouds, you see something. The man on the face on Mars, same thing. It's just a case of pareidolia. And I think that's all that is. Because if you looked, they would be giants if you really think about it. Here's the floodlights here. They'd be as tall as trees if that was really the case. So I hate to shoot down that theory. I think that's still amazing for them to, under a different light and think outside the box. But I don't think that's anything going on there. Vanish and Corrupt with Steven. So proud to be a part of this. Oh, okay. That's your YouTube handle. There he is, the man himself. Huge shout out to him. Thank you so much, buddy, man. Please, if you can, go, if you're a TikToker, go check his channel out. You know what he does? He gives out instruments to kids, I think weekly or monthly. Correct me in the chat, buddy. And I believe he has an autistic child as well. That's why this case, is so close to him, because he can relate. And so huge shout out to him for what he's been doing. So amazing. And he's trying to help me. It's truly amazing. All right. So what? All right. I'm sorry. Again, I was getting so much information today, like just hours before my live. And for anybody that doesn't know, I spend anywhere from 4 to 6 hours on my live shows, because I always like to have everything. I always like to have a presentation, if that makes sense. So, all right, this is what the locals, and I mean locals is plural. So this is coming from multiple locals, on what the car actually did. So again, I know I put that video out yesterday, which is partly correct, but according to what I'm hearing today, this is what they believed happened with the vehicle and everything. So this is going to be some new information right here. So here we go. They believed when the car came at 3 a.m., this is what it did. Now, I think it went towards the top. I didn't want to. I mean, you kind of get the idea. Apparently, it went. I'm not sure how far. I forgot because I was getting told so much information. But this suspicious vehicle apparently went all the way down Killen, turned around at the end, and came back down. As from what I understand. So this is kind of different from how we kind of explained it yesterday. And again, this is coming from multiple locals. Yeah. Then they believed the vehicle had stopped here. So the vehicle, originally we thought the vehicle had stopped at the stop sign, had went forward and was facing the other way, but excuse me. People have spoken to people that that know the surveillance footage. Let's just say that I want to try to be very careful with my words because the person that's been sharing me stuff, I've been trying to be respectful for stuff that they share with me that they don't want out in the public. Again, everything that they know, I just want to mention this right now. Everything that I'm sharing with you, law enforcement knows. So I just want to put that out there right now. So don't think like, oh, I'm holding on to information that could help solve his case. That is not the case. Everything that I'm sharing with you has been shared with law enforcement, FBI, and that. But this is what they believe happened. So the vehicle had gone down the Kellen Ave, had turned around, and from what I understand, parked near this home, was between these two homes right here. That's when two subjects got out. Now, I believe the video, original video that we see first, which was released first, shows the moment when after they had collected possibly Sebastian Rogers, and then we know that subject one really kind of seems like subject one kind of hangs out by the home back here, and subject two actually goes and possibly collects Sebastian Rogers and brings him back, and it's like subject one is kind of there for support. So this would be what we would be seeing is apparently the suspect's car right now is parked to the right of this home here, from what I understand. And they've got subject 2 now popping out, possibly carrying Sebastian, maybe walking him, who knows. And then we've got this ditch. And notice, bam, they disappear because you've got this huge ditch. It's big. And we'll listen to Steven himself talk about how deep that is because, again, when you're looking at it from here, it doesn't look that deep. But as it, moves back in between those yards, it gets deeper. And so I wonder if subject 1, is obviously kind of hanging out, just making sure everything's going smooth, and then we are going to eventually see him or they disappear behind the home. Then we have subject 2, so they may have probably had started to see them come up out of the ditch maybe, and then they're like, okay, we're good, everything's good, they're coming along. We notice they kind of stall right here, which is very interesting. So makes me wonder if there's something going on there. And then notice the light disappears right behind the home. So that shows you, with those lights being properly overlaid, they are definitely maneuvering between the two homes here. I know, I agree. It needs to be solved. I think now there's some talk. They believe, especially with FBI coming in with the reward. I think the wheels are turning, in my opinion. Which thank God, because and I really hope he's alive and they find him. Tom says, glad to be a member of the greatest true crime channel. I am humbled and honored. Thank you so much, Tom. So now, from what they believe happened here is as they were coming back, this is where it kind of gets a little iffy, and I need to talk to them again to kind of really clean this up a little bit. But it sounds like as they were coming back between the homes, this car had actually then turned down this road. Sorry, this went a little bit slower than I thought it was going to be. Not sure why, but they believe, this is one theory, is they believe they were possibly using this car as a, almost to block the view of what was going on. And that they were going to kind of block and use their lights maybe. I'm not sure, but maybe they were thinking they could block what was going on. I still got to talk to them and figure out, but that was kind of the theory, that maybe this car had parked down there for some reason. Still a mystery why it would do that from, coming down that road and not just sitting there. It is interesting. But the one thing we know that the people are, or at least a subject is still over near the house, is there is a light that pops up when this car is, sitting there. And we'll look at that and we'll zoom in on that. So here the car light comes on. The floodlights here. I think this light here is the static light to the garage. And then right over here. Oh, sorry. Tail light, obviously. Flat headlights. I've got much more to share. And I'll get to chat here. I'll pause it here in a minute. We've got so much to go over still. I may have to turn off my members noise here. Where's that at? Sorry guys for all the noise. I gotta find that. I can't right now. Okay, yeah. So the car light turns on, right? Look at that light right there. Now this light here is the garage light, as I told you. That's the floodlights. And I believe I showed this one more time. And I'll get to chat here in just a minute. Maybe this was after. Yeah, that says that. Sorry, it's going really slow. I mean, I mean, that's huge to know that it was a sedan. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Right here. So I just wanted to show this again, and I'm going to try to fix this a little bit. I wish I would have replayed this a little bit more, but we see a light pop up right there. And so it makes me wonder that they were kind of coming around, and then we know that there was kind of like one almost now near in that yard now. So they're not behind the house, but we got one that's kind of in front of the house, if that makes sense. And that's something I'm going to work on, but that is very suspicious. So here's one more look at it here. This light right here. Oh, let me move this over just a tad. But there it is. Lighting up. So, very interesting. I've got much more to go over here. Let me get to chat while we just kind of look at that so I can make sure everything's going good. Chris Kennedy. Oh, I love that name. Welcome so much. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Let's see here. We've got Jilly Bean coming in with a $10 super sticker. Thank you so much. We've got Henry Dog gifting 10 Mob Crew memberships. If you did get gifted a membership, if you could thank the person that gifted you a membership, that would be so awesome. Henry Dog has been a huge supporter of this channel. Much thanks to you. Ginger Girl coming in. Thank you, Steven, for helping find Sebastian. Yes. We're going to listen to a short interview, or not interview, but a short video from him explaining the ditch, which really helps kind of put some things together that I didn't even think about. So we'll listen to a short video of that, and then that way you can go check out his video and get his thoughts on it. We've got Mary saying, thank you, Chris. I have a connection who may be able to help. You have my email. I know you have been super busy. Yeah, I have. I don't know if I missed this one. So proud to be a part of this. Thank you so much, Steven. Abigail, thank you so much. Amanda says, great work. Keep going with the help from Stephen Crabtree. 2 determined men with big hearts. Justice and truth for Sebastian. Thank you so much. Anne Elizabeth coming in with the membership. Thank you so much, Anne Elizabeth. You are a legend. Thank you so much. LA, I'm just going to say LA right now because I can't see the words right now. They're really small where I'm at. Thank you so much for becoming a member. And Miranda Cromer. God bless you. Okay. Let's listen to what Steven has to say. So there's a view of the ditch right there. And, oh, I know what I was showing real quick. Okay, just before we get to Crabtree's interview. This is the video. So like I said, I was wrong. I thought maybe the video was out of order. But from what I hear from the locals, because they spoke to, from what I understand, the source themselves, they say the video where it shows the light going back to the home is the last video in the videos that have been released. That, in my opinion, is huge. Because if that light, if that person, subject, whatever, goes back to the house and then the vehicle leaves, what does that tell you? You know, again, everything is hypothetical and theory only. We're not pointing fingers directly at anybody, but, you know, you decide, you know, I'm just presenting the evidence that we have, and you come to your own conclusions, of course. But I do just ask everybody to be respectful in the chat as much as you can. But with that order, knowing that this video that I'm going to show you right here is the last known video that they have, even though they have more footage, this is the last one that's been leaked. Now, I've got to fix this because it's very short, but it appears as if they're going really fast, and it's like they had jumped that ditch. And that's something I've got to work on that video, because that video quality is the worst out of the 3 videos. So I need to kind of see if I can clean it up. But they jumped this ditch from what the sources I've heard, which is really wild. Thank you so much, explorers. We got much more to share. But yeah, from what I understand, one person goes back while this vehicle takes off. From what I understand, I could be wrong, but that's the information that I was told. And if that's true, again, that's huge. That is very huge. Okay. All right. So, now to the man himself. Huge shout out to him. Mods, if you can, I know you probably have already. If you can, put his TikTok link or YouTube channel link in. I think he focuses more on TikTok, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll check my text. Jennifer, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Give me 1 second and I will. So I was asking Crabtree again. He works for Verizon. He is a local. He's not bothering anybody, and maybe he was out there on work, and he did some measurements for me, which again I have to. There was a lot of information sent to me that I have to work with after the show. So here is his video.
So I'm currently over here at Stafford and Kellen, and
so that is Stephen McCrabtree. He's in the chat right now. Amazing guy, amazing gentleman. Can't say enough good things about him. So here we go.
I'm actually helping the mob crew, Chris, get some laser shots of like angles and distances between the concrete drop pad and other areas to see if we can't get kind of like a size on the car and how big it may be and what we're really looking at, and laser shots across to make sure that, hey man, we can get everything that we need to see, for what it is. And hopefully what we can find out is what was this car? Was it a small sedan? Whatever it is, and maybe get us a step closer. But thank you, Chris, to the mob crew for allowing me to be able to help you with this, man. I'm obviously near and dear to this. This is something that means a lot to me. And I hope it just brings answers, to Sebastian's family, most of all.
So here's some drone footage he showed. Obviously, I showed some drone footage earlier. I've got some more drone footage. I'm not going to show it all because I'm sure he'll probably want to share some of that on his channel. And so I don't want to show everything because, again, I'm sure he'll probably want to show that on his TikTok. And what an amazing guy. Today was the first time talking to him. And, we hit it off. And he's just an amazing guy, man. What an amazing guy. Truly. So I do have other ways to support this channel. Obviously, I have a PayPal, Venmo. I even do have a GoFundMe, but I try not to mention that too much. But that is another way to support this channel. But if you do send a PayPal or Venmo, if you can let my mods know so I can shout you out, because sometimes I just don't get alerts. They come in late. So right now it looks like I got a PayPal from June. Thank you so much, June, for the PayPal support. That is so sweet. You're amazing. If I miss
Now,
somebody,
mind you, I just got home and I'm looking over the footage, but I wanted to upload this with this because what I'm trying to show y'all is the aerial between Stafford and Kellen. Everything that you could see at play. But what nobody is thinking of is the ditch. And I talked to the neighbor that lives right at the corner where the car was said to be parked in front of. And he said those were lights, absolutely. And they were hustling and bustling to get the hell out of there. But even
hustling and bustling to get out of there. Very interesting. Such great information. Man, you're awesome, Steven, man. Love to you, brother. Amazing.
more tall telling was that ditch line that they had to scale back up. Now, do you know at ground level, that ditch line is 5.5 feet deep. There's no way, if you ask me, somebody had somebody on their shoulders. It just couldn't happen, especially given he said they got the hell out of Dodge and was moving. So it's all to be determined is what I would say, but if anybody's going to do it the best and explain this the best, it's the mob crew, and I'm going to leave it to him. So look for him to come out with this in the next couple of days, but I wanted to see what y'all thought about it and maybe get y'all's opinions, where y'all stand.
So I didn't want to play everything, so you can go check out his video. Man, like I said, I could just go on and on. Everybody that I've spoke to has been so nice, and man, it's amazing. You know, everybody wants the same thing. We want to bring home Sebastian. You know, you're all in here. That's what you guys care. You know, you guys are amazing. You guys got big hearts. So thank you guys so much for everything. So we've got more to share. Oh boy, like I said, I'm gonna have a members and Patreon video. So another way is member Patreon. I also have a Patreon that I put a bunch of different material out. But so what kind of lights are we seeing? So I'd love to get the chat's opinion. This is something that I've been trying to kind of figure out as well. You know, with the help of Steven, you know, if we can get a lower shot from this angle, so we could almost get maybe like the height. You know, obviously we're not going to get the height exact, but, you know, we might be able to get a little bit closer to, especially like subject 1, you know, if we were to get a little bit lower view and maybe use the objects that these lights are standing next to, maybe we could kind of get an idea of the height. I'm not sure. That might be a little too much because they're quite far away, and you know. But again, I'm trying to look at it from every different way I can, and of course we'll look at the vehicles. Everybody's been sending me every different kind of vehicle, and I do appreciate it. And I do agree. The vehicle is the big one. You know, that's it. The vehicle, we need to figure out. I like it. I like it. So I'm going to show some different examples of lights here. Okay, so here's cell phone lights. You know, I love concerts, you know, when they do this. It's so nice not having to use lighters and burn the shit out of your thumb, you know, when your lighter keeps going, you know, and then you keep lighting it and you're burning the shit out of your thumb. So thank God for cell phones and concerts now. It's much better. So it's certainly possible they were using cell phones. Again, I guarantee you those people are doing geofencing. Guaranteed. As a matter of fact, I've heard that that's what they're doing right now is geofencing, along with, I'm sure, many other things. Then we have a flashlight. Now, you know, obviously there's different flashlights. You know, we got small flashlights that obviously don't have, you know, a lot of light. Wait, why does that go dork? But With flashlights, we almost have like two different, we have the flashlight itself, and then where it's pointing, if it's a strong enough flashlight, is also going to give off some kind of light source. So I don't think it's a flashlight. Now, it could be a small flashlight, certainly, that doesn't really give off this, secondary ball of light. But I don't think, in my opinion, it's a flashlight. Let me know what you think. I see a lot of people mentioning the headlamp, and we're going to get to that here in just a minute. But here's just kind of an example. I'm still trying to find some videos where I see people walking with cell phones from far away, and it'd be interesting to see what they do when they not only walk one direction, but like walk around to where like they're almost blocking the light, and see how that reacts. Is the light still kind of showing up? Obviously I could do that myself, really, just go out and film myself from a far distance with a flashlight. That would probably be a great demonstration to try to figure out what are they using as a light source. I do think cell phone light does look promising. Definitely. A lot of people say cell phone. It does. Now, if they were using cell phones, I'm again. So anybody who doesn't know, so somebody asked what geofencing is. Geofencing is something that's a little bit newer. They've been using it for quite a few years. What they do is they take, and I guess it depends on the state. I think some states are trying to fight it because it's in some ways impeding on public privacy. But basically, in a nutshell, geofencing, what it does is, so let's say a crime happens, right? Let's say a murder happened right here, right? And there's, let's say, 3 individuals that wandering around, and they all have phones, right? Well, what geofencing does is they can pull the data from Google and figure out where those cell phones are at, use the GPS, and determine where those cell phones are at and where everybody's at in that area, if that makes sense. It's an amazing piece of technology, and a way it's obviously been used to help solve crimes. It is amazing. I would think if they were using cell phones, I think they would probably be using burner phones. Yeah, Sebastian, yeah, he had a key ring flashlight. Yeah, it is smaller. That's definitely possible, for sure. This is, and I've seen some people already mention it, this one, I really like this one. This is a headlamp. On the right is somebody on a, what the hell do they call them? A moped? Where you stand on it, you just move and it goes. So he's got a headlamp on. Notice it really doesn't shine too much, it doesn't have the flashlight thing where you've got this like source of light. The main source is really just in one area. I would think a headlamp would be a good possibility as well. Paula says, whatever they use, whoever did plan this, they planned it out pretty good, in my opinion. I could not agree more. I think this was definitely planned out. And I'm going to share some more shocking information with you. That's a segue. Yeah, it's a segue. That's right. I always get... Yeah. I always want to call it a scooter. And a hoverboard. Yeah, hoverboard and scooter. But yeah, it's like a Segway. Yeah. I'm just reading chat here. Yeah, hoverboard, yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think it could be a headlamp. I definitely think it could be a headlamp. So I just asked everybody to try to be respectful in chat. I know there's some people mentioning Seth and and all that stuff. I just asked be respectful. We're all adults here. I think we can agree to disagree. Right now, in my opinion, if I was taking over the case, I would go back to ground zero, and right now everybody would be a suspect. That means Chris, the Proudfoots, Seth, everybody, because we need fresh eyes, and we need to start over from day one. But here we have the lights. Again, so if you missed it earlier, thanks to Steven, after the show, I'm going to start working on some measurements. Now, if anybody in the chat is really good with math and measurements and knows what I'm trying to do and would like to help me, please email me. Maybe if you can put it in the subject line, helping you with the math or measurements, that would kind of help. Because I know there's some wizards in here with math. And I know there's got to be a way that we could use these these cuts, to determine that dimension and then the dimension of this truck. We know what kind of truck this is. This truck right here is a Dodge Ram F-150. So I could measure how long the bed is. So we could get a dimension from the bed here. We get the dimension of the two cuts here. Maybe get the width of the road. And then obviously the width between the lights, the tail lights, and the lights. And I think we could kind of come up with some kind of approximate measurement for how long or how the length of the vehicle, if that makes sense. And I'm sure there's some math wizards in here. I will recap some stuff, and I'm going to take a sip, and I'm going to break down some strange information that happened with the surveillance footage. That you're going to... this is where it's going to get a little dark. Is it a Ford? He told me it was a Dodge Ram. Maybe it's a Ford. I thought it was a Ford, but I don't want to. Sorry, Steven. It could be a Ford. He told me it was a Dodge Ram. I thought it was a Ford too, but I can figure it out no matter what because I have a picture of it from the news clip. But yeah, it's definitely an F-150. Well, an F-150 relates to Ford, right? Or it's a Dodge Ram 1500. Maybe that's what I meant to say. That could be what it is. Yeah, maybe that's... yeah. Anyway, it's not going to be too much trouble to figure out the length of this guy. Okay. So now I'm going to drop some other new information that has not been shared before that's going to really get a little spooky. Let me just snag these members real quick, and then I will share the new stuff. If I miss you, I am so sorry because there is a lot going on. Honestly, me coming in with the $1.99 super chat, thank you so much. You are a legend. I think I got you, Tracy Ann. Thank you so much. I think we're caught up. Henry Dog gifting 20 mob crew memberships. I don't know why it's not popping up properly. So please, if you did get gifted by Henry or anybody that gifted a mob crew membership, please, if you could thank them. Because I've got over 100 videos for the members, just to kind of share that with you. So there's plenty of stuff. June coming in. Hit that like button. It's free. Thank you so much for the $1.99. All right. Okay. So the footage itself, right? So this is where it's going to get a little bit eerie. Let me back up to this wonderful view
Provides
from, yeah, here we go. All right, let's start there. Okay, so we know the security footage, right? We know that, unfortunately, that security footage, actually, you know what? It might help if I do this. Give me 1 second, guys. Is it, does this one have it? No, that one doesn't have it. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? No. Where are you hiding? Why are you hiding from me? You're hiding from me. Oh, there it is. Found it. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, so I'm going to share some strange information with you guys. All right. And I'm going to try to save some for the members and Patreons as well, because it gets weirder than this. All right. So we know the home where the surveillance footage came from, right? Well, the locals had spoken with them. And oh God, I better grab my notes. Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus, what did I do with my notes? Oh God. Oh Jesus. If you're curious on how crazy I am when it comes to work, this is this is the kind of stuff that I do on this is each page. I wish I could show everything. I filled up this notebook. Oh God, you can't see it really well. I'm sorry. I'm pointing it at the wrong goddamn camera. I'm sorry. Or gosh darn camera. I'm sorry. Anyway. Oh, that's not the one. That's not the one. There it is. Found it. Okay, found it. I found it. Okay. Okay. Oh God, wait. What did I do? Oh, I know what I did. Okay, there it is. There. Okay, I found it. Whew. All right, as you can see, the timestamp up there says 3/11/04, right? We know that that timestamp wasn't working. Well, get this. The family that has that surveillance footage said that before Sebastian Rogers went missing, so remember, he went missing Sunday night, Monday morning, 25th, 26th, right? They said that their camera, when it came to their timestamp, was working all the way up until that Friday. 2 days, day and a half, well, I guess it would be 2 days before his disappearance, right? It wouldn't work when they had pulled the footage. Tuesday, a day later after his disappearance, the surveillance footage or the timestamp started working again. that is coming directly from them. What do you think about that? Some think they may have jammed the timestamp. I don't have a lot of knowledge when it comes to the timestamps and how, if that's I don't know. If anybody in the chat could share, is that something that happens? If anybody has like surveillance and timestamps, if anybody wants to share in the chat, if that's like a common problem where it gets stuck and then it just kind of fixes itself, let me know. But oh boy, we got chat going crazy. They use some sort of jammer. Harley Ryder, that is what they believe happened. That is exactly. Milljack, good to see you. Jammer, I knew it. Yep, that is coming straight from the source. Straight from the source. Very interesting. Again, I've never I can work surveillance footage, but I've never had a home, so I haven't had to worry about surveillance footage. So if anybody in chat knows if that could be a common issue with this timestamp, let me know. But right now I'm seeing a lot of people saying, no, that's a jammer. And I'm going to share one more thing with you that's really going to rock your world as well. Crazy Linda says jammer. Scrambled. Very weird. Yep. That is literally, again, I know I've said it before, that is coming from the source today. That came from the source today. Because right now, that neighborhood, they want this thing to end. They are ready. And so, again, they were really grateful that I was able to kind of spark things. Again, I don't want to give myself too much credit. I know a lot of people give me a lot of credit. But, I just kind of gave a little spark when it came to the surveillance and correcting where the overlay was. But that really kind of sparked things. And here we are now, and we're coming together. And that's, that just shows how amazing, the amazing community that we have. So that this isn't just on me, that's on you guys as a community coming together to help find Sebastian. Steven says Ford Explorer and driveway and white Dodge 250 crew cab long bed and blue metallic Dodge. So yeah, that coming from Steven's mouth. So yeah, that Dodge is a 1500. He has photos. Yeah, I was trying to be careful with the photos, Steven. I don't know if I think you showed some of them. I really wanted to be careful because I didn't want to show like license plates or anything. Again, we're gonna have much more stuff I have to go through after the live show. Again, I'm going to have a ton of stuff for the members of Patreons because I was told so much that my brain was about to pop. No kidding. Autumn Skies? I want to say Autumn, but I could be wrong. It looks like Autumn. Skies coming in with a $5 super sticker. You are so awesome. Thank you so much. And we got Henry Dog coming in with a $100 donation. Ruff, the dog is in the house. Oh, Henry Dog, please show Henry Dog some love and some support in the chat. That is amazing. All of you guys, truly amazing. Oh, I forgot that I can like your guys' stuff. That's something new. I didn't realize that. Steve says, a zipper is a device capable of doing that. Very interesting. Should we look up what a zipper is? I'm assuming it's not the thing that goes on your pants. Zipper that... Let me turn this down because I don't want you to type. Scramble. Sig. Remember that scrambles ring footage? Oops, shit. Okay, let's check this out. All right, I keep getting stuff here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to entertain and get to stuff at the same time. Okay, so yep, I got that. Thank you, Jennifer. Jennifer, all my mods are being amazing. Okay, I'm going to... Okay, hold on. Oh my god, that is so amazing. Oh my gosh. So I got a person, I can't say who, is going to test the lights with the cell phone. How cool is that? How cool is that? So you guys are amazing. You guys, we're going to solve this, or we're going to help, whatever we can to help get justice for Sebastian. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's quickly read this real quick.
Yeah, exactly. I spoke with a woman who says her SUV was stolen right out in her driveway. And when she went back to look at her Ring camera footage, hours were missing at the same time her car was stolen. And I spoke with a local technology expert who says that was not a coincidence. You see them on almost every block. A Ring or some form of doorbell camera system, the small home security device gaining significant popularity over the last decade. But as their use has grown, so has the ability of hackers.
If you're relying on wireless to be a security thing, you're looking at it wrong.
Chris Burns, the owner of Techie Gurus, says security cameras that use Wi-Fi to record are more about convenience than actual security, because Wi-Fi can be easily disrupted, preventing the camera from capturing who is around your home. And criminals are catching on. A woman in Detroit found out the hard way when she says hours of her Ring camera footage were missing during the same time her blue Trailblazer was stolen from her driveway on August 14th. Similar stories popping up across the country. And Burns says he knows why.
Wireless signals are very easy to jam or block.
By using a deauthor or Wi-Fi jamming device.
Like this one right here.
A deauthor, which can be the size of an Apple Watch, will overwhelm a Wi-Fi system, forcing the doorbell camera to stop recording if you stand close enough. The accessory only costing about $10 to $50 and can be found on Amazon.
But a jammer is going to cost you maybe $150 to $1,000 depending on what you're trying to do.
And it's highly illegal, so it's more difficult to find. But a powerful jammer can prevent an entire street from recording on its doorbell security camera with the switch of a button. We reached out to Ring about the issue, and a spokesperson sent a statement saying, quote, like any Wi-Fi enabled device,
Okay, I gotta pause it so I don't get because sometimes they're fishy with that. Holy shit. I think that car may have turned down that street because they may have had a signal jammer and was probably trying to jam their surveillance footage. Guaranteed that is what they were trying to do, was try to jam that surveillance footage. And I'm going to share one more thing with you guys that is going to support this theory. And it's going to blow your effing mind. Holy shnikes. This is crazy. Wow, this just gets wilder and wilder. I mean, look at that. It's almost like... let's see. What did they got? So they have 2/24/23. So that happened on the 26th. So exactly. See, and this just coincides. If you think about it, it stopped on a Friday. That's the same day. I think the 23rd would have been a Friday, right? 24th Saturday, 25th Sunday. Yeah, that's it. That's the proof right there. Proof in the pudding. Right there. That's them showing that their surveillance footage is working, and that was on a Friday, the 23rd, days before. It stopped working right after that. Holy shnikes. Now, I'm just going to blow your mind a little bit more from what I was told. And man, I wish I could shout out the people that are helping me. I could shout out Steven, but there's other people that are they want to be anonymous, and I do not blame them. Man, my mind's blown right now. Holy shit. That's wow. Okay, so to add on to that, let me just show you one more thing that was shared with me today. Okay, yep, right here. Okay. So, remember now, originally yesterday I put out how I was told yesterday how the car had maneuvered, but it's different today, which, I understand. You can get things wrong. Of course, they actually had to talk to the actual source to kind of, get a clearer picture of what happened that night. But here I'm going to just blow your minds again. So, when this car had driven up the street, it just so happens that there was another home. I'm not going to show which home, but there was another home at the top of this street that had a ring cam. Well, guess what happened? That ring cam got fried. That ring cam does not work. From what I understand. I don't know if they could fix it or whatever. I just know that ring cam from that night would not work after that. That is what I was told. So it makes me wonder, did they drive up that road with a jammer trying to jam all of the signals or ring cams to obviously, get away with what they're doing? And now the fact that they turned down that street in front of this home where they know there's surveillance that's pointing to where everything would be going on, I think they were trying to jam that footage, and they only were able to jam the timestamp. That's just my theory. I don't know a lot about the signal jammers. I guess that's something I'm going to have to look into and do some research. So I really don't know much about jammers, so keep that in mind. But right now my mind is blown because that really makes sense as to why that car turned down that road, because I always thought it was kind of weird when they had told me today, the car had came down this way and then it turned here, and it's like, well, why didn't they just kind of wait here, pick up the subjects and then continue on? But maybe they turned down that road because they wanted to get closer to that surveillance to jam it. Let me know what you think here. I'm losing my voice and losing my mind right now. Again, my mind is just in overload right now because I've been told so much information, and I've got the locals. Just like I told you, they are actually out there gonna reenact the flashlight thing. It's truly amazing that we're all coming together to, figure this out. Yeah, that's where my mind's at right now. Wow. Again, I need to do research on signal jammers. I do not have much experience in that field, so I am definitely going to have to do some research on that. Steven, oh yeah, I think I already got that. Tiffany, just in case, I just want to shout you again. Thank you for becoming a member. Harley Rider, that helps. Chris, by any chance, do any of the other neighbors have cameras that weren't working that night? So I do have some information on that as well. There were quite a bit of different cameras spread out. I don't know exactly which house had cameras. I'm sure I may learn some more about that, but from what I understand is a lot of the cameras, or not a lot, I got to be careful with how I say this, but from what I was told that there are cameras, but there are cameras that are motion detected and really are kind of, it's almost like this, where they're motion detected and only kind of like facing maybe the driveway or the front yard, the door. And so again, they're only motion activated. So it's possible something could be coming by that's further out that would not trigger the motion detection. So that's what was told to me. Again, I want to reiterate the audio leak that was supposedly, where you could hear supposedly Chris Proudfoot and the possible abduction. Multiple locals have told me that did not come from that night. That happens a lot with these cases where you get a big case and people start to fabricate stuff. I'm not pointing any fingers because I don't know where the original source came from, but that does happen. But from what I was told, that whole audio thing, because for those that follow this channel, I love to break down audio and try to enhance it. I am not an audio technician, but I do have a little bit of experience in that. But yeah, I was told that stuff's baloney. Heidi coming in with the $2. You're doing amazing, Sebastian Army. Thank you so much, Heidi. You are awesome. We got Steven here. It's called a Flipper Zero. Sorry, no, that's okay. I hunt RF signals, which is radio RF. It stands for radio frequency. Externals for Verizon Wireless, and I had to take it from a home in Dixon, Tennessee. Interesting. I'm going to write that down, actually. Flipper Zero. So, it's not a zipper. Okay. Did you say zipper or did you say flipper and I just said zipper? Did I just mix that up and accidentally put zipper? I can't find that now. I'm wondering if you did say flipper and I said zipper for some reason. I can't find it. We got Jana E. Meyer is coming in with a Mob Crew membership. Thank you so much. That is so sweet. Thank you so much. Honestly, me coming in with the $2 super sticker. You are a legend. Thank you so much. Gypsy Nilsson, who would go to all this work to kidnap an autistic 15-year-old if not for nefarious reasons? Yeah, motive. That is a big one. Yeah. I agree. What are the reasons? Mary coming in. Apparently, to use a jammer to affect someone's ring camera or home security breaks a federal law. Yeah, that's what they were saying in the news. Is this why FBI is involved? Ooh, I like that comment. That is certainly possible. Again, I just want to shout out Henry Dog. I know I shouted out earlier, but people gifting out mob crew memberships. That is so amazing. Thank you again for that.
Something that means a lot to me.
Where are we at? We started at 5:30. Holy cow, we've already gone over an hour and a half. I tried it. Yeah, Flipper Zero. Yeah, I got Zipper. I don't know how I got Zipper. I don't know where my mind's at. Jesus. But I will try to do a little research. I am really more curious about the this footage that Steven has worked so hard to send me, which again, I just cannot thank him enough. What amazing
now,
guy.
mind you, I just got...
Again, so we've got a local that's going to go out there with the cell phone and kind of show us what that looks like. I am excited to see how that works out. That'll be a very interesting thing to dissect. Again, I know a lot of people want me to overlay vehicles. Again, they believe it's a sedan. Now, does that mean it's a sedan? Not necessarily, but that's what they believe they saw. So we do got to definitely take that into consideration. I think maybe we should probably maybe even do a special live where I just do a live where we just break down a bunch of cars and overlay them. I don't know if you guys would like me to do that. Let me know in the chat. It wouldn't be hard to do, and you guys could just tell me, okay, which car to overlay, and then we just kind of do that and spend an hour or whatever, and we could just overlay cars, and then we could maybe vote on, the cars that look like they match the description the best. That would definitely be fun. Oh, he did say Zipper. Okay. All right. I was just making sure my mind wasn't somewhere else. I thought I saw Zipper. But I get it. I'm dyslexic, so I messed up all the time. Okay, I got another message. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm getting messages from the local as we go. Oh, wow. It's really blowing my mind right here. I am going to have to do a members/Patreon video to kind of put everything else in here. And I will share everything in a live, but, to give the members and Patreons, something, I will share some information with them, but I will eventually share everything in the next live. I promise you that. Mary comes in. Maybe that's why Brinks would not allow law enforcement looking into KP's work van. I'm assuming she meant van. Jammer in there. Mary, I'm just going to say what your comment is telling me right now. I can't show my cell phone. I can't show who I'm talking to. All I can say is, holy shit. It's the same thing that they're mentioning in the message. So, really wild. Where Summer says, try an avalanche. Yeah, I think we'll probably do a live where we just run a bunch of vehicles. But again, I just want to mention one more time the math. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, and if you don't, please just go back and look at it, where I'm trying to kind of get measurements from behind the vehicle and in front, and see if we can kind of come up with some kind of formula that could help us determine the approximate length of this vehicle. I think could go a long way if we did it right. Mandy coming in, becoming a member, supporting the channel. Thank you so much, Mandy. Lady Crimson coming in with the membership. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Minnie coming in with the membership. Oh, you guys are amazing. The support, you're going to make me cry, honestly. Yeah, she worked at Brinks. That's right. Yep. She worked at Brinks. As a matter of fact, I think I take a Brinks. No, I took the transit van. That's Chris Proudfoot's transit van. Yeah, she worked for Brinks. So she worked for security. Imagine that. Imagine that.
He likes to skip.
Sorry.
Footage.
One more thing before we head out of here. Mods, thank you guys so much for your hard work. I think the chat's been really good. I think there's been a few... I'm not sure. It seems like the chat's been going really well. I know sometimes the all caps thing is an issue for people. Or some people, I'm sorry. I can't remember. Isn't the Brinks vehicle just... Or is it just empty? Oh, it's empty. That's right. But yeah, I know I have a photo with the Brinks vehicle in here. I know most of you already know this. I just thought I'd show her real quick. But, of course, when you're looking for something... I've got so much stuff. I need to kind of clear it out here. One last time, before we finish up, again... I can't find it. Of course, second I get off live, I'll find it. But I just want to mention one last time, guys. We've been searching for Aidan. You can go check that out if you want. We have PayPal, Venmo, a GoFundMe. If you'd like the support. And anyway, 2 years he's been missing, and we literally found his shoes in June. And it kind of sucks because what happened after searching for Aidan in June is we started searching in July, and I ended up getting severely dehydrated because we went out back to back like 2 days searching, and it was like the hottest days of the year, and I probably should have went to the hospital, but I didn't. But I was out for like almost over a week. And so, of course, my income is YouTube, and usually I do well. Usually most of the stuff I get money through the ads, and that's fine with me. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to make videos, and you get paid a month. You only get paid once a month, and you get paid the month after. So my August, when I got paid this month. It was shit because I was out. I was burnt out, and so I was hurting. Not gonna lie, but so all the support and love you guys have been showing me is amazing. So I'm not gonna go any longer because I feel like I'm pulling on heartstrings, and you guys are just so amazing. You're a genius. Thanks for being a voice. Do you see shearing in the white truck window or side by trash can? To not allow card, they need the data. I agree. Some people have sent in my videos. Actually, I know, I'm sure probably a lot of people have. So I am sure they have what I've worked on, and I'm going to work on more. Thanks to Steven Crabtree. Kelly coming in with this membership. Thank you so much. Susan, I believe the Brinks vehicle is a Volkswagen cargo van. Yep, that's correct. Thank you, Susan, for your membership. Your mama. Great name. I hope this information has some people nervous as heck. Agree. If it is something fishy going on, I certainly agree. FBI could be involved. I've heard things, the wheels are turning. Adabelle coming in with the membership. Thank you so much. Always LB, you're a legend. Thank you so much. Southern Queen, if I can speak. Membership, thank you so much. IN with the $5 super sticker. Tom saying thanks for all your amazing work. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Tom. With that, again, before we go, if you guys want me to do a live, we could just do a special live where we line up vehicles. I think we're going to do that. I get emails every day like, hey, try this vehicle. So we're going to do that. I'm just going to show you this. I'm not going to show the actual stuff in it. Let me be careful real quick here. Okay, that's okay. So this is coming from Steven, right? So he took a bunch of pictures, measurements, and videos. And anyway, he's helped me out a lot. And it looks like the neighbors as well. So anyway, I am going to head out before I just keep rambling on. Again, let me check. I got Mary Ann coming in with a PayPal or a Venmo. It doesn't tell me. Sarah June with the PayPal. That's all I got right now. Again, if you did send anything and if I missed it, I will shout you out in the next show. All right. With that, Criminal Med, I made it 2 years. Hey, you got the Dig 2-4. That's awesome. Yeah, if you wonder what the numbers are next to the membership, it means how many months you've been a member. Unfortunately, it only goes 1, 2, 4, 6, 12, 24, and then it goes every year. So it kind of, each longer it goes, it takes a while till the number changes. So, and it says smash that like button. You're amazing. Just Jen says thanks, Chris. Thank you so much. Before I go, one more time. TikTok, Stephen McCrabtree, amazing guy. Please give him a huge shout out. And to Julia with a PayPal donation. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. I am going to probably have a special live tomorrow. Mods, be prepared for that. And with that, I am going to head out. I still have some more information we'll share tomorrow with the members of Patreons and with the rest of you. With that, I love you guys. If you're new members, please send in pet photos. Shoot, I'm sorry. If you're a member, a perk is you can send in pet pictures, and that goes to the outro. So please, if you're new members, send in pictures of your pet. With that, love you guys. Have a good night. Mods, you're amazing.